her, then recognized her while her husband was destroying her. Some crimes
don't
begin with violence.
She was my
They
daughter!
begin with abandonment.
She was my daughter!
And some regrets don't arrive quietly. They arrive screaming, when it's already too late to undo anything. This is the story of a girl who hated the only man who loved her, and trusted the woman who would become the architect of her destruction. The woman who walked away. No fight. No explanation. Just a note on the kitchen table and an empty crib beside it. Her name was Lena. Her father, Daniel Moore, stood in that apartment for hours holding her, reading the note over and over like the words might rearrange themselves into mercy. "I can't do this anymore." That was all it said. The woman he loved had eloped with another man and disappeared across state lines, leaving him with a baby, unpaid rent, and a life he never planned to live alone. Daniel cried once. Just once. Then he wiped his face, kissed his daughter's forehead, and made a promise he would never break. "As long as I breathe, you will never feel abandoned." Lena was still a baby when her mother left. 6 months old. Still learning how to sit. Still learning how to trust. Her mother didn't look back. She ran away with another man to a different state, chasing freedom, money, and a life without responsibility. That night, Daniel Moore, Lena's father, became everything. He learned how to warm milk with shaking hands, how to rock a crying baby while fighting his own tears, how to bury heartbreak under responsibility. And for years, he never complained. A father who gave up his life. Daniel worked until his body began to fail him. Construction. Cleaning jobs. Night deliveries. Some weeks, he slept less than 4 hours. He skipped meals so Lena could eat. Wore the same shoes until the soles split. Smiled even when his body begged him to stop. When she got sick, he held her all night. When she cried, he sang off-key lullabies. When other kids had 2 parents, he became everything. Teacher. Protector. Cheerleader. Sacrifice. He came home exhausted but still helped Lena with homework. Still clapped the loudest at school events. Still smiled when she asked for things he couldn't afford. But poverty leaves scars. And as Lena grew older, shame turned into anger. When a child turns against love, Lena didn't see sacrifice. She saw embarrassment. By her teenage years, Lena hated the word poor. Hated the old car. Hated thrift store clothes. Hated the way other girls whispered. And slowly, quietly, that hate turned toward the man who raised her. She blamed her father for their struggles. For her mother's absence. For the life she didn't choose. "You ruined my life," she screamed once. Daniel stood there, stunned, holding a paycheck that barely covered rent. She blamed him for her mother leaving. For their struggles. For everything she didn't have. She started staying out late. Then not coming home at all. That's when she met Ryan. The boyfriend who sold her. Ryan was charming. Too charming. He wore expensive sneakers with no job, spoke softly but watched everything, and always needed money, for emergencies. Lena wanted love. Ryan wanted control. Soon, money started disappearing from Daniel's pockets. Small at first. Then hundreds. Daniel knew. But he said nothing. Because every time he tried to talk, Lena looked at him like he was the enemy. What Daniel didn't know, what no one knew, was that Ryan wasn't just a boyfriend. He was a recruiter. Ryan promised her escape. Lena vanished one night. Daniel waited anyway. Morning came. Then night. Then days. Police reports went nowhere. Friends disappeared. Phones rang unanswered. Daniel searched shelters. Hospitals. Morgues. Weeks turned into months. He aged 10 years in one. Every night, he slept on the floor of her room, afraid that if he slept in his bed, she might come home and not find him. But Ryan delivered her into a nightmare. The mother who became a queen of crime. In another state, Lena's mother had transformed. The man she ran away with was now the leader of a criminal network, trafficking drugs and exploiting young women. And she wasn't a victim. She was his partner. Cold. Feared. Respected. She gave orders. She chose victims. And when Ryan sent a message, "I have a girl. Young. Broken home. Easy to move." She approved the pickup. Without knowing the name. Without knowing the face. Without knowing. It was her own daughter. A daughter sold to her own. Lena was stripped of identity. Forced into silence. Forced into obedience. She didn't know where she was. Didn't know who controlled her. And the woman overseeing it all never once recognized her. Not her eyes. Not her voice. Not her pain. Until one night. The moment everything broke. Lena was locked in a room. The man who entered wasn't a stranger. It was her mother's husband. What followed shattered what was left of her spirit. Midway through the nightmare, the door burst open. Her mother stood frozen. For a second, just a second, she looked at Lena not as property, but as a threat. "You tempted him," the woman screamed. She grabbed a knife. Lena fought back. In the chaos, the blade sank into her stomach. Blood spilled. As Lena collapsed, something slipped from her neck, a small keylock pendant. It broke open. Inside were 3 photos. A tired man smiling proudly. A baby in his arms. And the innocent mother sitting with them. She saw her younger self in the picture. The mother screamed. Because she finally saw it. Recognition and madness. The truth crushed her instantly. The girl bleeding on the floor was her daughter. The child she abandoned. The life she erased. She clawed at her own face. Screamed until her voice broke. Her husband fled. But the damage was done. Lena was rushed to the hospital. Barely alive. She survived. But not whole. A father who never stopped searching. While Lena fought for her life, Daniel searched endlessly. Flyers. Police stations. Shelters. Months of rejection broke him. One night, his heart finally gave out. He died alone, still believing his daughter might walk through the door. Lena survived with permanent damage. A wound that never fully healed. Her mother lost everything. The guilt shattered her mind. She spoke to walls. Cried to empty rooms. Called Lena's name until sedatives silenced her. Prison couldn't punish her the way memory did. And when Lena finally stood at her father's grave, she knelt. Not in anger, but in regret. The man she blamed gave her life. The woman she trusted took it away. And some realizations come only after blood has already been spilled.
She was my daughter, and now she's gone.